Hello, welcome everyone. If you are in high school, you are in the right place. The goal is that each one understand how and when to use this grammar at the end of the video. I will leave some links in the description of this video to keep practicing. Let's get started. Okay everyone, let's learn a little English grammar. We're going to learn how to use simple present tense. So first of all, it's very important that we recognize what is the definition of this tense. What is simple present tense? Simple present is a tense which is used to express different things that happen regularly, whether in affirmative, in negative, or asking questions about it. That is, this tense can be used in affirmative, negative, and interrogative form. There are different situations to use simple present tense. When can we use it? We can use simple present tense when we want to express our habits, like I smoke, our routines, like I play video games every Sunday, with general things, like London is a large city, with our emotions, like she loves him, with desires, like I want to go to the cinema, with repetitive actions, like I work every day, and with scheduled events, like the exam starts at 5. Before we start making sentences, it's very important that we know about the rules of verbs when we want to use third person. How to add s, es, and ies to verbs. The first rule says that we have to add s to some verbs at the end. For example, work, which is the base form. In third person, it would be works. Know, knows. Speak, speaks. The second rule says when a verb ends in ch, and s, we have to add es at the end of that verb. For example, watch, watches, wash, washes, mix, mixes, miss, misses. The third rule says when a verb ends in y, we have to replace that letter with an I and add es at the end. For example, cry is cries, carry, carries, study, studies. The fourth rule says when a verb ends in o, we only have to add es at the end. For example, do, does, go, goes. And the last rule says that the verb have is an exception in third person. For example, have, which is the base form. In third person, it would be has. And please keep that in mind. All these rules are only for affirmative sentences. If we want to form sentences in this tense, it's so necessary we know what auxiliaries are necessary to do it. When we are using simple present tense, we have to use these auxiliaries. In affirmative form, we use do, and in negative form, we use do not or the contraction don't. And we only use them for these subject pronouns, like I, you, we, they. In third person is different. In affirmative form, we use does. In negative form, does not or doesn't. And we only use them for these subject pronouns, he, she, and it. Please keep that in mind. Now, how to make affirmative sentences? We only have to apply this structure. First, we need to put our subject pronoun. Second, the verb in base form or third person. Depends on what subject pronoun we are using. And finally, our complement. For example, I exercise every day. You want to go to a restaurant? We miss our grandparents. Mary and John drive their cars every day. Remember, we can use names or nouns instead of subject pronouns. In third person, for example, John washes his dishes. She watches movies on TV. The dog has to eat its food. It's very easy, but you can be guided by colors. In negative sentences, we have to apply this structure. First, our subject pronoun. Second, the auxiliary, do not or don't. In third person, does not or doesn't. Next, the verb in base form because we are using the auxiliary. And finally, our complement. For example, I do not exercise every day. You do not want to go to a restaurant. We don't miss our grandparents. Mark and Joe don't drive their cars every day. In third person, for example, John does not wash his dishes. She doesn't watch movies on TV. The dog does not have to eat its food. It's very easy too, and you can be guided by colors. And finally, interrogative sentences have two forms. The first one is yes, no questions. Remember, yes, no questions only need short answers like yes or no. And we have to apply this structure. First, the auxiliary do or does, plus subject pronoun, plus the verb in base form because we are using the auxiliary, And finally, the complement and the question mark. For example, do you like to work every day? And the answer has to be short. Yes, I do, or no, I don't. In third person is the same. Does she wash her dishes? Yes, she does, or no, she doesn't. It's very easy too, but you have to be guided by colors. And the last form of interrogative sentences is WH questions. Remember, WH questions are to get information from others, and we have to apply this structure. First, WH question. What are WH questions? They are like what, how, why, plus the auxiliary, do or does, plus subject pronoun, plus the verb in base form because we are using the auxiliary, and finally the complement and the question mark. For example, what do you like to eat every day? And the answer, remember we have to give information. I like to eat pizza every day. In the third person is the same. Why does he take a shower every day? Because he likes to be clean. And as you can see, it's very easy, it's not complicated. This verb tense is actually the easiest in English grammar, but we have to keep all this information in mind. Okay everyone, that's all for today. Remember to keep practicing with the links that I leave in the description of this video, and I hope this tutorial will help you. Thanks for your attention. Until next time.